My video for May the 25th, 2019 is video number 3096. The title is 3 U.S. Flags, purposely misinformed. Quote, before 1940, no U.S. flag, civil or military, flew within the 48 states except in federal settings and installations. Only state flags did. Since the 1935 institution of Social Security and the Buck Act of 1940, 4 U.S.C.S. Chapter 4, Section 104-113, by clever legal maneuvers, the feds have entirely circumvented the U.S. Constitution and have created, or overlaid rather, federal territorial jurisdiction on the sovereign states, bringing them under the Admiralty military jurisdiction of law merchant, the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, the law of creditors and debtors. Since then, the U.S. military flag appears beside or in place of the state flags in nearly all locations within the states. All of the state courts and even the municipal ones now openly display it. In the last half century, they have more openly declared the military admiralty law jurisdiction with the addition of the gold fringe to the flag, the military flag of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Such has been the path that has brought us under the law of the military flag. This should have raised serious questions from many citizens long ago, but we've been educated to listen to and believe what we are told, not to ask questions or to think for ourselves and search for the truth, end quote. That quote is actually from John Henry Hill, wordpress.com, and I'll put the whole link in the comments to this video. I won't include it in the video because that messes up my link, the link to the video that I'm making right now. In any case, this is a question that comes up. Someone asked me to display the U.S. flag in my background. As you can see, I have a globe there, and the globe always shows Australia because I was part of the Australian delegation of Swiss Indo. So even though I was only in Australia for 1 month a few years ago, I lovingly consider that my other nation. The United States, of course, I was born in and raised in. But I did visit the Australian delegation, or Australia, as one of the members of the Australian delegation, the North American or American part, and there was also a European gentleman who was part of that delegation. That's why you see Australia featured on my globe for quite a while now. And you also, I keep rearranging things on the bookcase behind me. You see my picture there when I was part of the United States military, and you see a picture of me when I was just a little baby, and you see I put flowers back there again, and I see a picture of Jesus holding out his arms. Supposedly that's from, of course, South America. I think it's in Brazil. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it's Brazil. Anyway, it's just talking about the background and stuff. But I was asked the question again, why don't I fly the U.S. flag? So I put a picture of the U.S. flag with the vertical red and white stripes, 13 of them, and a white background with blue stars. That's the peace flag. That's the civil peace flag that flew when Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote the Scarlet Letter. It actually had the picture of the flag in the Salem courthouse in Massachusetts, and that was the official flag. And again, they flew state flags because they were the states that we call states in the United States were independent nations. That's what the whole Civil War was about, folks. And the bankers, the international bankers, have been committing fraud against the people of the world because their game plan is war. War is their most profitable enterprise. And so they wage war, and they wage it by lies. They are deceivers. When are we going to get it through our heads that most of the things that we're told by the official establishment is convoluted? It has some truth in it. It's not that it's absent of truth, but the emphasis is never on the truthful part. It's always on the part that's fabricated, the part that's made up, the part that's manipulated to create a control system, because these are people who want to control humanity. They want to set up a one world, new world order, a one world government where they are in absolute control, and they are trying to write our creator out of the whole thing. And our creator doesn't stand up and take any responsibility. People get mad at me when I say that because they keep telling me it's up to us, Ron, it's up to us. But until we are informed and empowered, we can't realistically overthrow something that has so much, so many assets behind it to keep it, as if they could, in perpetuity. They want to keep it going forever and ever, keep the fraud game going up. And there's all sorts of issues that come up as a result of that, including the attempt for global warming to thaw Antarctica so that they can mine the resources that are there. That's one of the things that I've read and looked at recently in another video. And many other things are being put in place because there are individuals that want to keep the control grid going. And that's where the misinformation comes from. It's disinformation, misinformation, whatever you want to label it as. But the flag is just one small piece of that. We live on a world of willful deception. And those that willfully deceive us want to eliminate any opposition to their lies. They want to be the boss. And this has been going on, as I've said in so many videos, for eons. It's not something new, but it's something we need to wake up to. We need to become informed about it. Now, I brought this up in one of the meetings in the apartment complex where I live, and the lady that runs that totally shot it down, didn't even want to listen to the idea. I brought in a picture of the peace flag, and no, that's not the thing. And neither is the gold fringe flag. That gold fringe means it's admiralty jurisdiction. That has no bearing on an official flag, but yet it's the one used in the courthouses. But it's fraud, folks. The courthouses are not common law courts. They are admiralty jurisdiction courts, maritime courts. It's a military operation, and it's an operation to swindle the U.S. people and the rest of the world too. They're swindling all of humanity because of their great deceptions. They are liars, and they have no concept of trying to create a world that is at peace, because peace simply is not profitable. They want control, and the way they gain control is to get us to fight among ourselves, to fight each other over which religion is right. And I talked about that in many videos. Love is the only true spirituality, to love one another. And if you only love those that love you, you're no different than the heathen. Anyway, thank you folks for listening, and namaste.